means just one thing. It's Grati-Tuesday right here on Pure West Radio. And Tom and I are extremely grateful because we are now going to catch up with Reverend Sophie and Father Neil.
Hey, morning, everybody.
Good morning from a lay-by somewhere between Haverfordwest and Newcastle Emlyn.
The dizzy heights. I love it.
Yes.
What brings you to a lay-by on the way to Newcastle Emlyn?
We're on a training course all day today, but we couldn't miss out on talking to our favourite people on the G&T Breakfast Show. So we had to pause and we had to have a conversation with you. And actually, we've kind of taken that as our theme for today. Let me tell you a little story. There was once a little girl who walked into the lounge.
Oh, I just beat my arm. Sorry.
Thanks for that.
It's like the buzzer on Britain's Got Talent. Oh, this story again.
There was once a little girl who walked into the lounge and she said to her father, who was busy reading the newspaper, Daddy, let me read you this story that I wrote in school today. And he went, okay, you start and I'll listen. And he still had his nose buried in the newspaper. And she started, then she went, Daddy, listen to me. And he goes, I am listening. Silly Daddy, don't you know you've got to listen with your eyes as well as your ears? And so he put the newspaper down and started to pay attention to her properly. Whilst we love the opportunity to come on the radio, part of our job is not just broadcasting to the people of Pembrokeshire, but also listening to them as well. And face-to-face communication is something that's at the heart of the gospel and at the heart of Christian ministry.
Oh, it is. And part of everything that we enjoy doing is spending time with people and getting to know them and getting to know them well. And it's really hard to listen properly, isn't it? To listen actively and to listen well. It's something that you have to work on. It's something you have to be really quite deliberate about, I think, don't you? And so you can even learn how to listen properly. They do courses on how to listen properly. Did you know that? It's amazing. No. They do courses on listening properly, and it's very much about that active listening. It's about paying attention to the words that people are saying and then being able to repeat that back to them so that they feel heard and they feel as though you've understood what they've said to them. And sometimes that might be just something like clarifying what they've said, or saying to a person, well, I think I've heard what you said, but I just want to make sure that I've got it right, and just being able to be really careful listeners. So we were thinking about that this morning as we were listening to the radio.
We were listening to you guys. And we are grateful, therefore, for the opportunities that each day gives us to be able to direct our full attention to other people and to actually put down our newspapers, to set aside our mobile phones and actually focus on the person in front of us. Last week, Reverend Sophie gave a little bit of a hymn of praise to Pure West Radio on Grati-Tuesday. And whilst we love you all dearly, radio is a medium that is principally one way. Although we know that Pure West has the best listeners who send us messages and texts and reach out as well. But as good as Pure West Radio is, nothing quite beats standing in front of somebody and giving them your full attention. So this week, we'd like to ask everybody in Pembrokeshire and all the Pure West listeners across the world if they would just put down their papers for a second and pay attention to those around them who they love.
Yeah, I can everything you're saying there, I'm like, yeah, I know that. And it's too much to have our phones and to be doing other things, especially when my daughter comes in from school. It's like, just stop everything and have that time. Even if it's 10 minutes of your time, it's reconnecting and actually properly listening.
And it's free.
And it's free, yeah.
Was it there's that phrase that some people only listen so they know when to jut in with what they want to say. And there's something to be said about actually truly listening and actually responding to what's being said and not just going down your own path. And it's a magical thing when you actively listen to someone, because that's where you get actual revelations and you get understanding and you get learning about other people and you get to learn so much about yourself as well when you're actively listening. So thank you so much.
We listen with our eyes, and we also have to remember that God made us the way that we are, with 2 ears and 1 mouth, which means we must listen twice as much as we speak.
But speaking, I believe, is the theme of the song that you've chosen for us this morning.
It is, yes. Now, Reverend Sophie is too young to remember this one.
I remembered it well.
I was just about to say, I suspect that both of you two are as well.
No.
But, if all goes well, then you should be listening to Captain Sensible, that doyen of the 1980s and early 90s, who loved to rock a beret, just as Gina does, with Happy Talk.
It's on the way for us. Reverend Sophie, Father Neil, thank you so much as ever for your time on this Grati-Tuesday morning.
Hold it there, Tom.
I'm holding
it there,
on.
because before Reverend Sophie and Father Neil leave us this morning, Sophie, if you could just toot us out, please, with the car horn, that would be amazing.
I'll wait for the cars to go past before.
Lovely.
Are you ready? Go.
Toot toot! Here it is. Thank you so much as ever, Captain Sensible. Well, he's certainly not on this show at the moment. It's 9:15.